Hello everybody, it's Matt here again, and we have an unboxing video, and this should be a little stack of Now That's Right Cool Music albums. You'll have to forgive my green nail polish, courtesy of my daughters who decided to go to town on my fingernails, but I tried to get some of it off, but it's not budging, so I don't know, it might be here to stay, but let's dive into this. And let's start opening it. So this arrived a little bit early. Got a nice delivery from DHL this afternoon. Didn't expect it to come till next week, but I tell you what, it's been hot here, man. It's like 115 today. It's September, I find, is the hottest month here in California. Now, statistically, that's not true. Like, you look it up and it says no. It's actually like third behind July and August, but I always think we get more temperatures over 100 in September than any other month. It still says it's 82. See the clock behind me here in the garage? It's hotter than 82. I'm really feeling it. I don't think the temperature thing's very accurate on that, but anyway, let's dive into this. As you guys well know, I do like my Now albums. Oh, in fact, there's a tab there I'm going to pull here. So these are all recent releases, so let's take a little look-see. That there. Okay, I'm just gonna take it off the top and we'll see, see what's first. So, first up we have Now 80s Dance Floor Pure Pop, and it looks like it comes with, oh no, this is for another album that's in there. I'll show you guys that in a second. Now 80s Dance Floor Pure Pop. I'm pretty sure it's on colored vinyl. I'm not going to unseal it right now, but I think it will be. That's a little bit annoying. There's a tiny little crease there. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's there. But anyways, they have so many spin-offs now of these Now albums. They have these Now yearbooks, which I have one of in here. Now 80s Dance Floor. I think this is about the 5th or 6th installment of this one. It's kind of crazy now how many of these different albums. I mean, they definitely have one a month on average of these UK releases easily. But I tell you what, I'm quite looking forward to listening to this, because it's got some good stuff on here. So let me read out the track listing. Bananarama, I Heard a Rumor. So that's one of a number of Stock Aitken Waterman songs on here. In fact, the first 4 songs of Stock Aitken Waterman, I'm just seeing if there's any more. And then there's 2 more later, I think, by the looks of it. Anyway, so Bananarama, I Heard a Rumor. We then have Mel and Kim Showing Out, Get Fresh at the Weekend. That's a great track. Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. Nothing says 80s more than Rick Astley. And then Kylie Minogue, Made in Heaven, which I think was a B-side. I'm trying to think what it was the B-side to, but I think I have a feeling it was a B-side. But it is a good track. We then have Debbie Gibson, Shake Your Love. I remember that one from 1988. Well, it says 87, but in the UK it was a hit in 88. So Denise Williams, Let's Hear It for the Boy. Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters, and Kenny Loggins, Footloose. So that rounds out the side A. Side B, Whitney Houston, So Emotional. Nice to see that on here, actually, because, you always seem to get I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me on these compilations, and that's a great song, don't get me wrong. But So Emotional was a big top 10 hit as well towards the end of 87, and so I'm glad that that's on here. Diana Ross, I'm Coming Out, which is interesting. I would lean that more towards disco, but yeah, okay, that's all right. I think, pure pop, I would have put Chain Reaction on here, but that's just me. Boogie Box High, Jive Talkin', which of course covered the Bee Gees song with an uncredited George Michael on vocals. Miami Sound Machine Conga, classic. DeBarge, Rhythm of the Night, yeah. Shalimar, I Can Make You Feel Good, and 5 Star, Can't Wait Another Minute. I want to do a video about Five Star one of these days. I think they were one of the most underrated pop acts of the 80s. And I think that had their songs been performed by Paula Abdul or Janet Jackson, they would be considered classics, or at least some of them. But yeah, it's just me. Anyway. All right, let's move on to side 3, so LP2 side A. We've got Blondie Rapture, Kim Wilde You Came, it's a good song, Laura Branigan Gloria, Tight Fit Fantasy Island, Dollar Olamore, which I've never been that fond. I like the song, but I like the Erasure version. The Dollar version, which came out 2 to 3 years afterwards, it's okay, but I never thought it was as good as Erasure. We then have Hazel Dean, Who's Leaving Who, which I always thought was a Stock Aitken Waterman song, but not according to the credits it wasn't. So, but we do finish with 2 Stock Aitken Waterman songs with Sunita and Toy Boy. So kind of nice to see Sunita on here. She's not on too many 80s compilations, I find. And then Sonia, You'll Never Stop Me Loving You, which was a big #1 hit in '89. Another Stock Aitken Waterman song. I never really got it. It's never been one of my favorite songs of theirs. I think it's okay, but anyway, it was a #1, so whatever. All right, the last side we have Ryan Paris and Dolce Vita. Baltimore Tarzan Boy. This is edit DJ version, so I don't know if that's going to be. I mean, I think I have the 45, and I have it on a couple of compilations as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that's any different. A little bit of an unusual one here: London Boys and London Nights. The London Boys. I have an album of theirs. Well, I think I don't know if it was their only album, but it was their by far their biggest, which was called The 10 Commandments of Dance. And that was a really good pop album. It really was. And London Nights was the biggest hit. I think it was. I think it got to #2 in the UK. And it was a bit of a tragic story because the 2 guys that were the London Boys actually died. Did they both die? Or just one of them? I'm trying to think. They were in a car crash, like in Italy. It might have been both of them. It was sort of a tragic thing. But anyway, we then have Modern Talking, Brother Louie. It's another good one. Spania, Call Me. God, that was all over radio. Summer of '87. I remember that. The Nolans, I'm in the Mood for Dancing, which would not have been a song I would have included on this compilation. But anyway, Kelly Marie, Feels Like I'm in Love, and Liquid Gold, Dance Yourself Dizzy. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to giving that a spin. There's some good stuff on there. It really is. All right, next one. In fact, I'll do this one. This is Now Yearbook 87. So I mentioned this earlier, how they have this Now Yearbook series, and they've done most of the 80s. I think this might be the last one. Oh no, they haven't done 89. 89 is the only one they haven't done of the 80s. They've also done several 70s ones. I think they've done 73, 74, and 78, 79. They've done a couple of 90s ones as well. I think they've done 90, 92, and 93, I think. So there's still quite a few to fill in. But anyway, it's just sort of a retrospective look at 1987. Now, this one I was really looking forward to, and I got to admit, I've got a little bit of a problem with the track listing on here. I haven't looked at the CD track listing, which will be more substantial, but I just, the vinyl is sort of the premium product here in terms of cost. So to me, this is the go-to track listing. At least it is for me. But it does come with this. It comes with a print. These are always numbered. What number's on this one? Oh, this one isn't numbered. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, pretty low. 86 out of 1,000. Would have been cool if it was 87 to match, but there we go. And you can see the number at the bottom there. Okay, I've got a few of these now for different collections of these. So let's go through the track listing. Now, I will say that, this has a total of, looks like 42 songs on it. 1987, I think, was a really, really good year for music. Was it as good as 77, 67? Maybe not. Certainly not if you were going to take maybe the top 10 songs from each of those years, sure. But I don't know. I just think 87 is very nostalgic for me. It's it's really 87 is really the first year that I have a lot of memories from. I have scattered memories from years before that, but 87 I have quite a few memories from, and including the music. So it also ties in, you know, it brings me back to where I was and what I was doing when I heard some of these songs. So anyway, let's go through the track listing. I've mentioned 42 songs just because it's hard, I suppose, to include every big hit from the year. I get that, but all right, here we go. LP1 Side A, George Michael, Faith. Somewhat curious that's the lead track. It was a big hit, but it was only number 2. And there's quite a few number 1s on here they could have included, but I get it. It's sort of an iconic song, so fine. Pet Shop Boys, Always on My Mind, which I think was the Christmas number 1 in 87. New Order, True Faith. Great song that is. Mars, Pump Up the Volume is another number 1. Eurythmics, Beethoven, I Love to Listen to. Don't know if I wouldn't have put that on the... I would have found a different song, but anyway. Duran Duran, Skin Trade, and Pretenders, Hymn to Her, which I thought came out in 86. In fact, it does have an 86 copyright on here, but maybe it maybe just creeped into 87 for the release date. I don't know. LP1 Side B, we have ABC, When Smokey Sings. Level 42, Running in the Family. Fine Young Cannibals, Ever Fallen in Love. The Blow Monkeys, It Doesn't Have to Be This Way. Swing Out Sister, Surrender. Curiosity Killed the Cat, Down to Earth, that's a great song. And Black, Wonderful Life, that's another good one. I gotta admit, there's a couple on there that I'm not sure I would have put in, but okay. Now, LP2 Side A, George Michael makes his second appearance with Aretha Franklin, and I Knew You Were Waiting for Me, terrific song. Here's the obligatory Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, but I get it, it was a huge hit, it was a number 1 in the first few months of 87, so fine. Donna Summer, Dinner with Gershwin. That's another curious addition to me. I don't remember what number it got to. I want to say number 10, number 12, something like that in the UK. So it's a decent hit, but okay. Alexander O'Neill, Criticize. Tina Turner, What You Get Is What You See. Rosie Vela, Magic Smile. And Suzanne Vega, Luca. And LP2 Side B, we have Bananarama, Love in the First Degree. It was a big number 3 hit, I think it was. Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. It was the biggest hit of the year in the UK, so that's got to be on there. Mel and Kim, Respectable, another number 1. Dead or Alive, Something in My House. Man to Man, Male Stripper. Living in a Box, with a self-titled Living in a Box track. This is, I'd never noticed, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Terence Trent D'Arby. Sananda Maitreya, Wishing Well. I don't get it. They do the same thing with Eurythmics, right? They always put, now it's Eurythmics, comma, Annie Lennox, comma, Dave Stewart. And I always, but that's not what they were called at the time when the song was released. Same thing with it was Terence Trent D'Arby. I mean, that's what the artist was. It seems odd to me that you go back and change it. I don't get it. You know, it can be called what he wants to be called, but it just feels a little bit like rewriting history to me. I don't like it, but okay. And it rounds off with Boy George, Everything I Own. That was another number 1 from early 87. All right, LP3 Side A, Sisters of Mercy, This Corrosion. That's an underrated song. It's a sort of a dark, goth, hard rock sort of song. Iggy Pop, Real Wild Child. Paul Simon, The Boy in the Bubble. Sting, We'll Be Together. Bruce Springsteen, Brilliant Disguise. Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive, and Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over. In terms of hits, that's by far the weakest side on here. If you just look at the chart positions, which I don't really know what they were off the top of my head for all of these, but anyway, LP3 Side B, Pet Shop Boys make their second appearance with What Have I Done to Deserve This, which is a great track featuring Dusty Springfield on vocal duty. Aha, Cry Wolf. Alison Moyet, Is This Love. Johnny Hates Jazz, Shattered Dreams. Wishing I Was Lucky. Paul McCartney, Once Upon a Long Ago. I'm really glad that's on here because I think it is a really underrated song. I've always liked it. I like the chords. I've always liked the guitar solo, especially on the longer version, which this probably isn't, but anyway. And then we finish off with The Pogues featuring Kirsty MacColl and Fairy Tale of New York, which has since become kind of a Christmas cult classic in the UK. So there's some interesting omissions on here, including quite a few number 1s. So Belinda Carlisle, Heaven is a Place on Earth, which sort of straddled 87 and 88. I think that might be on the 88 edition. I don't remember. I do have it, but so okay, fair enough if it's not on here. There's an argument that Pet Shop Boys It's a Sin should have been on here too, but I suppose you couldn't really put the same artist on here 3 times. What else could have been on here? Let me think. There's no Freddie Mercury with Barcelona. Maybe could have been on here. Erasure aren't on here. They could have put Victim of Love or The Circus on. And maybe going a bit sort of out of their comfort zone a bit. What about like Def Leppard, Animal? And it would have been great to see Michael Jackson on here. Like, I Just Can't Stop Loving You. That was a #1 in the UK in 87. Or Madonna, but of course she's never on any now albums. Very well, rarely. She had 2 #1s. Laszlo Bonito's a #1. So was Who's That Girl in 87. But, so there's some omissions on here. For sure. But, Starship, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. That's one of the biggest hits of the year. That's not on here. So, yeah, I'm still looking forward to listening to it. I like the color, so that's good. All right. Like I said, I just think there's a few omissions there. Now, speaking of colorful artwork, there's a new release, and I could have got the box set, but the artwork I found boring. So I just got the 3 LP set of this, which is Now That's What I Call 80s. I love the artwork. Look at that. Look how bright it is. It's beautiful. I just thought that was the coolest artwork. The box set is really bland by comparison. Plus, it would have cost like 3 times as much. So I just decided to get this because it's one of those things where I've got every track probably. I've probably got just about every track in vinyl that's on this one, to be honest. But and I think it's true of the box set. I just wasn't prepared to pay like I think $120 or something for the box set, and I didn't need it that badly, especially when I wasn't too impressed with the look of it. And this one, the cheaper version, the cut down version of the box set, I thought, yeah, we'll get that because it's just, look at that, beautiful. Let me read out the track listing. So the obligatory opening song from Queen with I Want to Break Through, you can just guarantee that any 80s compilation, Queen's just, I mean, it's sort of well known, I think, that during the heyday of the Now albums, like in the 80s, Queen had kind of a sweetheart arrangement as far as track listing was concerned, like sequencing, where they would start, or they would open the track, or they would open the album. But anyways, so Queen, I Want to Break Free. Then The Police, Every Breath You Take. Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. The Human League, Don't You Want Me. Aha, Take On Me. Duran Duran Rio, which apparently is the US edit version, so that's interesting. And Spandau Ballet, Gold. So, I mean, that's a pretty solid start, you've got to admit. LP1 Side B, Culture Club, Karma Chameleon. Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen. Bananarama, Cruel Summer. Adam and the Ants, Stand and Deliver. Nina, 99 Red Balloons. Or as it was in the US, 99 Luft Balloons. Kim Wilde, You Came. Kylie Minogue, I Should Be So Lucky, and Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. So Rick Astley's been on all 3 of these albums I've been showing you. LP2 Side A, John Lennon, Just Like Starting Over. Bruce Springsteen, Dancing in the Dark. Philip Bailey and Phil Collins, Easy Lover. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. Tina Turner, The Best. Cher, If I Could Turn Back Time. And Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Okay, LP2 Side B, Whitney Houston, I Won't Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. Shaka Khan, I Feel For You. Communards, Don't Leave Me This Way. Blondie, The Tide Is High. UB40, Red Red Wine. Madness, House of Fun. The Jam, Town Called Malice. And Pretenders, Brass in Pocket. And then LP3 Side A, we have Elton John, I'm Still Standing. Billy Joel, Uptown Girl. Kenny Loggins, Footloose. Berlin, Take My Breath Away. Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters. Soul to Soul, Back to Life. Paul McCartney, Ebony and Ivory, which, I mean, wasn't that a duet with Stevie Wonder? It only says Paul McCartney. That's interesting. Anyway, and Lionel Richie, Hello. And then LP3 Side B, this is the last one, is New Order, Blue Monday. Pet Shop Boys, Heart. Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Relax. Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Round Like a Record. Soft Cell Tainted Love, Heaven 17 Temptation, and Ultravox Vienna. There's a lot of number ones on here. I'm going to try and count them, at least what I remember being number ones. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's a 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's a 10. I think 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Was Take My Breath Away number one? I think so. It was 19. Lionel Richie, Hello was number one, 20, so 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I mean, I count about 25 number ones on here, that's pretty impressive. There's the back of it, in case you guys were interested in that. So that's the last one. You know, me and my Now albums. I mean, even since I've ordered this, this little lot of 3 Now albums, they've already announced another one on the Now website, and I mean, I haven't ordered it yet because the shipping's not too cheap from the UK to the US, and so I quite like to order at least 2 at once if I'm going to. It just cuts down the shipping cost, like I did here. So I might wait until they announce the next yearbook or something, and then maybe order it. But anyway, that's it. It's getting hot, and appreciate you sticking this out for 21 minutes. So yeah, thank you always, as everybody who watches and who subscribes, and everybody who comments. Always appreciate it. And until next time, thanks again. Bye bye.